So tonight is going to be a little bit of taillight talk, but not very much. I've actually got some thoughts and of some things with the backup camera, the size of the SUV, the windows, and the backup camera. And I know the deficiencies. And I know whenever it rains or snows, the backup camera doesn't really work that good. In fact, I don't ever trust the backup camera. When I back out of a parking spot, I back up as little as possible and then pull forward and try to turn out of a parking spot. I don't trust the camera because you can't see anything. Which is to the point. How would Karen have known where John was to strike John with said car? And that's going to be the point of talking about this. How would Karen have seen John to back into him? How would John not have seen Karen's car backing up? But at that point, the RPMs are up high, because every car does it in reverse. It doesn't do it when you're going slow, but as soon as you go over 5-6 miles an hour, it starts getting louder, and it's progressive, so it gets louder as you back up. And if you're going 10 miles an hour in reverse, it's pretty loud. If you're going 15 miles an hour in reverse, it's really loud. John was a car guy, so I'm sure he knows what a car reversing sounds like. And he's a police officer, so he had to have known what a car with it in reverse would have sounded like. Which leads to the other story. How would Karen have seen John to run into him? Now, Karen's not that tall, and she's in I would say an extra large size SUV. The bucket seats are pretty tall. There's TVs on the back of all of the seats. So you've got the two driver's seats with the console in the middle. You've got the second row, which is just a regular seat with two high back headrests. Know if those were up or not, but that really doesn't make a difference. In the very back of a Lexus LX570, especially the 2021, from 2016 to 2021, the D pillar in the back has got a great big blind spot.
For a choice of standard or wide-angle rear views, which can be selected using the wide or regular mode selector switch on the screen. In wide-angle mode, the screen will show areas closer to the ends of the rear bumper, but the image may be more distorted. It should be noted that all camera images have some distortion and may not provide the same view as the human eye, particularly in terms of apparent distance. The camera image should be used as a driver aid only and should not be relied upon as the sole source of information when backing up. The features and functions
Okay, I'm going to demonstrate underneath the street light, the backup camera. Two of them, in fact. Still, you can't see very far. And my backup camera viewing area is almost twice the size. You can't even see the curb that you can see clearly in my mirror. trying to follow the backup camera as you're backing up is pretty much impossible. That blind spot, you wouldn't be able to see sitting in the driver's seat much of anything in the back while you're backing up, which goes back to the backup camera. Now they're trying to make it sound like the backup camera would have seen John. It's not true. Backup cameras don't aim out. Backup cameras are angled where they look down. They're made for backing into parking spots and not running over the curbs when you do get into the parking spot or backing into the car behind you. So they're angled down. I don't know what the exact measurement is off my head, but it's like in the field of view of a reverse camera, the actual lens on the back of the car, it's right by the license plate, just a little above it. It's angled down, and it's a fishbowl lens. So it kind of magnifies what's on the ground directly behind the vehicle. Now, there's another backup feature on Lexus and almost all cars. It's nighttime. There's my reverse camera. I just put it into reverse. You can barely see my reverse lights. Reverse lights off. It's just my brake lights you can see. Brake lights off, goes dark. That's brake lights. Now that's reverse lights. There's a curb coming up. Now I'm about 1 foot away from the curb and it starts beeping. And there's a tree directly behind me. Everything's off. The next feature is radar. There is a generic radar on the back of most cars nowadays, and there's one on the back of a Lexus. Well, I don't know how many people's backed up in their car and the backup beeper really beep when you're backing up even though nothing's there. That's why I don't like to use the backup camera. It's always giving false positives. And when it's raining or snowing, or it's been raining and snowing, anytime water's on the back bumper, it gets on the sensors. So the sensors go off no matter, it doesn't matter if anything's behind the vehicle or not behind the vehicle, the sensors still go off. So those sensors only go out a couple of feet as well. So there's no possible way that you could be 60 feet away going 24.3 miles per hour trying to aim at a human target when you can't even see out of the back of the vehicle. I don't know how many people listening to this have tinted windows, but when you have dark tinted windows on your car, you can't see anything at nighttime out of the back of your vehicle. You can barely see anything out of the back of your vehicle in the daytime with tinted windows. Put in a great big 15-inch wide D-pillar, and the passenger side of the vehicle backing up, it's almost impossible to see anything. What about mirrors? Well, mirrors don't do any good. The side mirrors don't do any good when it's dark out because you can't see anything then either. Reverse lights. Well, reverse lights don't really light anything up. It's not a spotlight. That's my reverse light. Car in reverse. On the brakes. Off the brakes. That's what you see in a reverse camera. On the brakes. The reverse lights are still on. I don't see anything until I put my brakes on. Out the back window, you can see reverse lights are on. The camera points more at the ground and the reverse lights go straight out. I'm about that far away from the bushes and my buzzer stops. Put on my emergency brake. That's just regular running lights. That's reverse lights. But look at the reverse lights in the camera. Nothing. Until I put on the brakes, do you see it on the ground? It's a filtered, kind of reflective white light to just, I guess, brighten up the rear. But when it's dark out, how many people can see when they're backing up just because your reverse light's on? Nobody. Those are just to let other vehicles know that you're in reverse. Those are not really reverse lights to shine anything behind the vehicle. So, once again, if she's 62 feet away, with all the aforementioned things going on, you can't see out the windows because it's dark. Obviously, nobody could see anything coming out of the house because the McAlberts talk about how dark that area was. There's no street light, so everything's really dark. They didn't see a man laying in the lawn 5 feet away from them, 7 feet away from them. So how is Karen going to see John 62 feet away and just happen to nail the gas and follow him like a heat-seeking